So guys, I recognize that sound. I wonder what that could be. But anyway, before I get on with today's video, I just want to ask you one quick favor. I need to get up to 1,000 subscribers before this year is out. I don't know if I'm going to achieve that goal, but do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, all into the atmosphere, maybe into the stratosphere with Jeff Bezos and his weirdly phallic-shaped rockets. I will say no more about those. But without further ado, guys, let's get into this article, because I heard this news last night and I thought it's got to be another rumor. It's got to be... they're just toying with my emotions. So in case you don't know, I am a massive Splinter Cell fan. I should say Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Tom Clancy's name has been tarnished by Ubisoft in recent years. It kind of really pisses me off what they do with that man's legacy. But if you see in front of me now, which is pretty awesome news, this is from Jeff Grubb at GamesBeat. Jeff Grubb, he's the man in the know. If anything that comes to his attention is pretty much, he'll do some investigations and just make sure it's legit before he starts spilling bits of information out into the public arena. So this is Splinter Cell. Apparently a new game is in the works. It's like 10 years since we last saw Sam in Black. What is it called again? I can't believe I've forgotten. The Blacklist. Yeah, I've been blacklisted. Yeah, I'm going to be worried now. James Spader is going to come knocking on my door. So yeah, Blacklist was the last solo Fisher game that we got. And then of course, Sam did appear in Deep State Episode 2 of Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and that was pretty good. I haven't actually had a chance to play that yet, but I've seen the gameplay. It's an older, gruffer Sam, but it's great, voiced by Michael Ironside. So I'll just give you a bit of a rundown on what was said here by Mr. Grubb. Splinter Cell is reportedly making a comeback. Publisher Ubisoft has greenlit a new full-fledged sequel, according to Video Games Chronicle. While GamesBeat cannot confirm those exact details, they do line up with info we have about Ubisoft testing a potential Splinter Cell game over the summer. Like many publishers, Ubisoft regularly runs testing sessions with consumers to get feedback, a bit like market research on potential products. In the weeks before E3, Ubisoft had fans play the upcoming Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, but of course that game's run into some trouble now because the animation's not so great and it plays like the old Prince of Persia game. So in 2021, that doesn't kind of really make much sense. So there was an appearance of a new Splinter Cell prototype. I'll be curious to know what title this game is actually going to be called. I mean, prototype might not be a bad title as a code name, but they might just call it Splinter Cell, which could be good. That's kind of the fashion these days when you bring back an old IP, you just give it its original title and that's it. The testers did not spend a lot of time with the possible Splinter Cell game. Ubisoft provided a vertical slice that was just a basic tutorial section, but this version of the game combined familiar Splinter Cell action with elements of the 2016 Hitman reboot. This does not mean this is the game that Ubisoft greenlit. The publisher is always likely testing and considering new possibilities for its upcoming games, and any eventual Splinter Cell release may look nothing like the secret prototype from early 2021. Now, a couple of weeks ago, guys, or maybe more, I made a video about the Japanese Prime Minister and how he liked Demon Slayer. In that video, I also said this: as newly appointed overlord, president of the free world, one of my duties will be to get rid of Juif Guillemot from Ubisoft and make him answer to his crimes against humanity. And if he fails to do that, of course, I will walk him along the plank and let him fall to his death below to those man-eating white sharks who I love so much. And after that, Michael Ironside's medical bills will be taken care of indefinitely so that he may return to the role that made him famous in video games, that is Sam Fisher. So over to the VCG article, Video Games Chronicle. A decade later, Ubisoft has finally greenlit a new Splinter Cell, sources claim. Of course, that's important to note. Ubisoft have not made an official statement yet confirming a brand new Sam Fisher game. So that's according to development sources who told us that the title has been put into production as a means of winning back fans frustrated by recent efforts to revive the franchise in the mobile and VR spaces. But why would you want to? Because those are two of the most obscene platforms you can put a AAA game like Splinter Cell onto. It doesn't make any sense. It's not clear which studios are working on the project, although two people with knowledge of Ubisoft's plans, nefarious plans probably, suggested the new Splinter Cell was being led by a studio outside of its traditional Montreal base. I would have thought Singapore could have been a good guess, but then they're undergoing problems at the moment with their Pirates game, and I think there's meant to be alleged incidences of abuse and bullying and harassment at that locale too, so it's not looking great at the moment. The title is in its early phase of production, their sources said, but there's a small chance it could be announced next year. Awesome. If it's next year, I'm betting it's E3 2022. That'll make a lot of sense. The much requested sequel will arrive at a time when the company's looking to rebuild its image following a wave of discrimination and harassment allegations. Employee groups say they are not satisfied with the level of action taken by Ubisoft to change its work culture. And when I hear those things, and I still like to play the Splinter Cell games, because you've got to think about the people who put their time and effort into making these games for us. So while it's easy to blacklist certain games or people in that industry, you have to kind of remember the other side of the coin. People make these games to feed their family and their pets and their dogs and keep their own livelihoods going. So you got to take that. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, actually. It's a bit of a shame, really. Ubisoft already announced a new Splinter Cell project last year, but many fans were left disappointed as the game was announced as VR only and created in partnership with Facebook, that douchebaggery of a platform. I wish I could get off that, but I can't do it at the moment. In recent years, the Assassin's Creed publisher has suggested it's been considering bringing back the Tom Clancy series. Well, Tom Clancy's estate, what are they doing? They could easily wade into the conversation and say, bring back Splinter Cell, don't tarnish our governor's name. And of course, what nobody else has mentioned is Michael Ironside. I'm sure the dude is well enough to come back and do an older rendition of Sam Fisher. I'd love to see that. Ironside is an awesome actor anyway. If you've seen him in Total Recall, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And as far as he's concerned, you know, he's the man that gave brevity to that character, brought gravitas, which is true, he did. It's his character, it's his guy. It's not the guy that was in the 2013 and
Damn, looks like Jason King fucked up Kung Fu hot dog reviews. Give it a take two, Jason.
Now, the 2013 game, it was a great game, but it's just you kind of got the experience taken out of you because it's not Michael Ironside's dulcet vocal cords returning to the fare. It's just another actor who did a fairly good job, who got some backlash online. Unfortunately, that's what happened. But the fans were rabid. I was rabid. You know, no one knew at the time that Ironside was going through some issues with throat cancer, but he's better now, and he came back for Deep States a couple of years ago, which was great. And I want to see him back in the fold as Fisher. I think a lot of fans will rejoice. And while the games haven't sold historically very well, this could be a bit of a lifeline for Ubisoft. They kind of need to get the fans back on board with the Tom Clancy brand, and obviously Splinter Cell. If you know what, if they do bring Splinter Cell back next year and it's a big success and it sells gangbusters, who knows what it will do for the future of that character in that particular studio. Also, there's a Splinter Cell cartoon or an animated series being developed for Netflix, so I'm curious to see how that would turn out. I don't know why they don't do a live action series as well, but maybe this could be the catalyst for that to happen eventually. So guys, if you enjoy this news today and this video about the return of Splinter Cell, one of the most badass video game franchises of all time, do leave a like below, do subscribe, and you'll see me on my next round of reviews and reactions, maybe tomorrow.
Linda, how you doing? You're looking good, real good.
It's Karen today. You look like you've clocked some miles since we last spoke.
Yeah, a few. I've heard they don't make them like me anymore.
Like and subscribe, or get your nuts Krogan crushed.